Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Roast and Toast podcast. We are your hosts, Jennie, Philip, and David.
Woo!
Well, hello, boys.
Good afternoon,
hello.
Arizona. Oh, that's loud. Wow.
That is very loud, yes.
That
yes.
live
So we've got
studio
some new digs and with
audience is right in my
the
ears.
live studio audience. Yes.
Guys, we are, it's like a new car in here.
Yes.
It's got that new car smell. We are in a brand new studio. It is still virtual, but it's all new. We're enjoying some new tools and tricks. Guys, how's it been? How's the week? How's the 2 weeks been since I last talked to you?
For me, it's been tremendous. I went on a date yesterday on a very unique experience.
Go on.
Went on a solar eclipse date.
It was a man.
It was a man,
You
yes.
wanted-
No.
No?
The unique experience was not only that it was a solar eclipse, I guess that's the unique part, but more so that it was in the morning. Whoever has a date in the morning these days? That was just a unique experience. But that solar eclipse that happened now, by the time this comes out, probably a couple weeks ago. And quite honestly, the best part of that was that me and the date stumbled upon, or I guess more so, this child stumbled upon us and kept us entertained for hours. Like there was no fear in this.
You didn't stumble upon a child?
No. This child, because it's one of those situations where this child comes up and starts talking to us, and then you're like, "Hey, so are you here with an adult?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's my Aunt Joanne over there." And Aunt Joanne looks like she's taking a rest from this child just absolutely tiring her the heck out. Like we could tell by the end of that hour that why, because this child did not leave us alone. And anytime Aunt Joanne called for her, she assured us, she made us rest assured. Don't worry, I'll be back. And we're like, oh, good. We were worried that you wouldn't come return. It was absolutely delightful.
You were concerned this child was going to be left with you guys for
Yeah, honestly,
day.
yeah. Yeah, keep an eye on Aunt Joanne, please. We got to make sure she doesn't take a run for it in the solar eclipse.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, it was fantastic. Jennie, what happened with you?
Well, it's been the last couple of weeks, but I you know what? I'm just going to start right off the bat and say, guys, I'm angry. I am so angry because The Exorcist Believer just made me so sad.
Was bad. That bad?
Okay, so let me break it down.
What are we talking about?
The new Exorcist movie, The Exorcist Believer.
So, in case you weren't scared of one exorcist, David, there's now two. One for 2 children, each possessed. That's in the promotional materials. I'm not spoiling anything.
Yes, well,
All right.
I'll keep this as spoiler-free as possible for those who are listening and still wish to see it. There was a good build-up to the first act of this movie, and then there is this climactic scene that happens. I wanted to yell at the screen, and there were character choices being made that only taught me that nobody has learned any lessons from the previous encounters that happened in the original movies, and it just felt like this movie was just mixed together with a bunch of different things that, sure, it was worth trying to put them together, but I thought it just didn't work. I wish there was, I guess I can't expect there to be complete loyalty to the original content, because when it's the next generation creating the reboot, they want to try to make their own spin on it. But this, in my opinion, did not work. I will never be watching this movie again. I'm over it.
You know what? In solidarity, me and David will join you and never watch this movie ever, just because of you, Jennie. Just because of
solidarity.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate your support.
We stand with Jennie. Yeah.
David, how about you? You seemed like you had an eventful week.
I've had an eventful month.
Says
now I've just come back from my 4th weekend in a row traveling to a different country to watch some form of live sports. So last weekend I went to London to watch an NFL game, the Buffalo Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of fun.
Wow.
Had a lot of fun at that game. It was very exciting. And I like to watch live sports in general. And then this past weekend was the big one. I drove down to Paris with my dad, and we went to 2 of the World Cup quarterfinals, the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals. And so we got to see the New Zealand All Blacks play Ireland. And that is the number 1 ranked team in the world, Ireland, against what was the number 3 ranked team in the world. That was New Zealand. And then that was on Saturday. And then yesterday, Sunday, we watched South Africa play France. And that is the number 2 ranked team in the world and the number 4 ranked. So we got to see the top 4 teams in the world face off against each other in the World Cup quarterfinals. And we watched New Zealand beat Ireland, and we watched my country, South Africa, beat France, who were the hosts. I was sitting surrounded by French people. It was such a thrilling game, just an amazing experience, and I'm still high off of it. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Now, hold on. That was all wonderful to hear. I know your little sports heart was overbound with joy, and that you got to spend it with cherished friends and whatnot. But I think me and Jennie have a more important question that you shared with us in our private Roast and Toast group chat that you never explained. That I know I need to hear. Jennie, I'm sure, was curious, and I don't think we got an explanation. Who did you take a picture with within the past month that we saw with you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How on earth did you just let that story go by?
Yeah, that was the night before the NFL game. That was the night before the NFL game. We went to go see a show in London starring...
Oh, hold on.
The one and only... Action, wizard, you shall not pass, cut! Sir Ian McKellen in Frank and Percy live in London on the West End or wherever. We saw him perform as a 2-man show. Please, Philip, thank you.
I'm sorry.
It was a 2-man show, and Sir Ian McKellen came outside after the game. I'm still on sports. After the show, he actually came outside to shake hands and take photos with the audience members. So that was very nice of him. Very, very kind of him. He looked so tired. He was like, "Please get me home." But he was a.
That sounds very generous.
Yeah, he was a great sport. I was very appreciative of that, and got a photo with him and my friends. I really wanted a photo with just him and I. I was kind of like, but my friends were like, "No, let's just get it together." Yeah. I'm like, yeah, get out of my photo with Sir Ian.
The theme of David's month was great sports. Love it.
Great. Good one. Yes. Philip, I have an important question. I would like to ask you, what are you doing this Saturday and next Saturday at noon your time?
This Saturday and next Saturday at noon, besides sleeping, I think nothing in particular. Why do you ask?
What do I have to do to get you to watch the World Cup semifinal?
Oh.
And then final, the subsequent
So how
Saturday.
well do you know Gal Gadot?
On a bus.
on the bus. Yeah, it's a great callback. I'll tell you what. You listen to a couple of my That Slaps, and I'll give you maybe the second half of a game. Does that work out for you? If it's not a blowout?
All right.
We'll negotiate.
Maybe. Yeah.
We'll have negotiations.
We'll see. I can't help but feel like you're going to get excited about this, Philip. I really do. And I feel like place a bet, a small bet, and you'll be excited.
Maybe. I wonder, actually, I'm sure that they would offer it. So I
have no doubt. It's the World Cup. It's showing on U.S. television.
Yeah. Negotiations and discussions will be had off the pod, David.
Off the podcast.
Yes.
Okay, guys, root for me here. I'm trying to get them to watch rugby.
So we are going to do, for the first time, all three of us are here together for a concept that we came up with for all of us in mind, but somehow we've done a couple episodes that not all three of us have been on for. Let's make a movie. This is the first time that all three of us will actually be on it. I think all three of us have done it. Just not all three of us together in the same room, recording studio, so on and so forth.
How exciting.
In case you are How very exciting. In case you're new to the concept and their first episode listening in, first of all, thank you. Second of all, we will each bring to you, the audience, a fresh and new story that we stumbled upon in our weeks away from this topic. And we will try to make the other two who are listening to the story will try their best to put a genre, to put a spin, to put a story on how they would direct and put this story to cinematic experiences for audiences worldwide, and how they would make a movie out of the story. And on top of that, maybe give maybe a couple other actors that they would see in any role that really sticks out and in what direction that they would go in. Jennie, why don't you start us out with your news story for this particular main topic that we have here? And David, we'll see what our suggestions are for where we could go.
All right, men, we are dabbling into the world of chess, a recently explored field, but this time with a little, how do you say, a playful twist? Let me explain what I mean by that. So the article I have brought today is titled, Hans Niemann Poo-Poos a Chess Cheating Theory That's Based on Vibrating Beads.
Oh, I've heard about this when it occurred, but I haven't heard this update. Okay, good.
Well, this was a little while ago. So this article that I have here was written back in late September. And this was the first time I had heard about this. So for those who don't know, this is about a chess prodigy named Hans Niemann. I believe it's pronounced that way. I'm not sure. He competed in the World Junior Chess Championship a little while back. And there was an accusation of cheating. And people were claiming, or the joke, it started out as a joke, but then it became more of a popular theory until finally it led to him being on Piers Morgan's show. And Mr. Morgan asked, have you ever used anal beads while playing chess? Because the theory was that he was using anal beads during the match that would signal to him certain things to get him to win. I was and the reply to that was, your curiosity is a bit concerning, maybe you're personally interested, but I can tell you no. Elon Musk is involved in this, by the way. It's a whole thing. So
I didn't know that. All
right? Yeah.
Of course he is.
Yes, of course
he is.
So
David, do you see this like I do? I can see this going a couple different ways, but I think the most prominent way that we would attack this project would be something a la like an Ocean's 11 story where there's like multiple components. Somebody's sitting there, and then like we have random close-ups and going in and out. And I think that's the way that, because it sounds like a scandal in the making, that I think if we do it more so based off of true events rather than making a statement or a documentary of it,
right. So you just want to loosely have a story inspired. I could see this as a maybe it starts out he's been accused of cheating by using anal beads, but then he's got to find a way to sneak the anal beads into the big final that's coming up, and he's got that's how it becomes like an Ocean's 11.
It's an underdog story.
He's got a guy in the chair in the background who's like Morse coding anal vibrations.
No.
So it's like
what he needs to do.
It's like a Slumdog Millionaire where like his whole life is explored and leads up to this moment, but it's an anti-hero where you find out all the methods.
He's cheating. He actually is cheating. Yeah,
he has to learn.
But then you got to make the guy he's up against the bad guy. He's got to be someone evil.
Yes. And we go like we have like this opening montage to when he learns like what each vibration means. He's like, okay, so this means like he's got to learn Morse code.
Could have a training sequence, like a Rocky. Oh
no. Well, I will ask this question though, guys. How do we want to stay true to the original story, or do we want to do some fun adapting here? How do we want to incorporate Elon Musk into this situation?
Elon Musk maybe is the evil villain. What role does he play in the actual situation?
Yeah. Oh, he saw a tweet pop up about this theory, and he was like, "Oh, that's hilarious," and he just kind of blew it up on his feed. So he was an amplifier. Well,
if it's you know what, if it's that little of a cameo within the actual story, I say bring in Robert Downey Jr. to play Elon Musk. Is that not the inspiration for Iron Man? So I think it'd be funny.
But I almost want Elon Musk to be supporting the evil chess player.
There we go.
His like yeah. Okay. Then you've got this like evil mastermind thing going on.
Absolutely. So David, I think if we're going to finish up by casting, I think for the main person, I don't know if you happen to look up while Jennie was talking, Hans Niemann, but I looked him up, and I think that both the role that we have in mind as well as who he looks like are one and the same. I suggest, and I put forth, Jonah Hill for the lead character on this story. Yeah.
That would be
Are we in agreement?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Unanimous.
And then what about for the title, David? Might I suggest Good Vibrations?
How about
beating our way to the top? Beating the competition. No, I guess you're not beating the competition.
Playroom rivals. Here, I did play with some brainstorming for this. I don't know if this will result in a censor. So forgive me, Mom. I'm so sorry. What about Tainted Tactics?
I like Tainted Tactics.
Tainted Tactics. All right. There we go. That sounds like the winner right there.
Oh, yeah.
David, now that we've gotten off that horseshoe, why don't you go to our next story?
My story is about a man who was found sitting on top of his handmade boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean before he was, as he was being rescued by a cruise ship. Oh. This is Tom Robinson, 24 years old, and he was attempting to cross the Pacific Ocean in a handmade boat. He was supposed to be the first person to do this or something.
Oh, wow.
The youngest person to do this. I had that detail wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a really big wave hit this guy in his handmade boat and filled the boat with water, and then it capsized, and he was just chilling. He sent out a distress call, picked up by a cruise liner that was coming from somewhere in Vanuatu in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, beautiful place, Vanuatu. Gorgeous weather.
Anyway, so he ends up getting rescued by this cruise ship, and he turned out to be unharmed, relatively unharmed, maybe a little traumatized at most. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know where you guys see this going.
I guess my own question that I saw from the article that you're sharing with us, which I appreciate, why was he naked when they discovered him?
Did you? I missed that detail.
Yes. Let's see.
It does just say that.
I
quote: "Finding him
subsequently
naked."
Naked. Yeah, finding him naked on top of the upside down vessel.
Why? Why was he naked? Was it that?
Well, I suppose if you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, there's not really much reason
to not be naked.
To wear. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I guess because honestly, if I was the captain of that cruise ship, I'd say, "Oh, hey, look, we got somebody over there who needs help." Oh, wait, he's naked. You know what? He's doing his own thing. He's getting a good tan. Good for him.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know why he was naked. Hopefully, the movie explains this.
Well, for all we know, he was probably doing laundry day the day the wave hit his boat. So all of his clothes probably went flying off the boat when it happened.
Yes. Okay, so Jennie, where do you see this story going of a naked man discovered by a cruise ship? There's an idea within me to play this kind of straight up. I mean, you can go fantastical a la Life of Pi, but
yeah, do you go with this being like an epic story about a man trying to cross the ocean, or does it end up? This is my thought. Does it end up going comedy route where it's more about him ending up on the cruise ship? And then again, you're going to kind of twist the actual events and play it up for Hollywood.
Oh, this is 100% mockumentary. I can't take this seriously, especially finding someone naked on top of a boat, him just thinking he can make a boat out of whatever materials and just sail the ocean. This seems like, I want to believe that this man had researched everything he needed to do before he left, but it sounds like it could go route to stupid.
It seems like he got pretty far in his handmade boat.
And then just that random wave. The ocean barely has any of those. Just that random one wave. If it wasn't for that wave.
I mean, he left in July
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to arrive in December, so he was like spending months on the sea. I think this was a very well planned trip. It just went wrong.
Well, okay, so the guy is 24, so that kind of does limit our age of actors that we could use to play. Because I mean, originally the idea of a mockumentary makes me want to go to like Steve Carell. Obviously, would probably be like ahead of that thought process.
I mean, he's young and he's also Australian, so I could see one of the Hemsworths.
Yeah, I was going to say
guys.
one of the Hemsworths. Is that?
I mean, I don't really know many more young Australian actors.
Well, if we're going mockumentary route, we should go with Jimmy Tatro.
Who? What is Jimmy Tatro famous from?
He's from American Vandal, that mockumentary about the kid who.
Oh yeah,
sprays,
this guy. Yeah.
Graffiti.
Yes, and he was just in theater camp.
Mm-hmm. He was just in theater camp.
Yes, the movie.
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't see this character not being Australian. Like he seems Australian. The whole story is very Australian, and I feel like I want someone Australian to play him.
I think we can go with the younger Hemsworth. That would be
It's got to be Liam. Unfortunately,
how about Jacob Elordi from Euphoria? He's Australian.
I don't know that I've seen him in anything. I haven't seen Euphoria, unfortunately.
He's about to star in Priscilla with A24, the new Elvis Priscilla movie. He's a very good actor. Yeah. So if we're doing the more serious route with this, he is Australian. So maybe we could stick with that route. But Hemsworth is a good option too.
All right, so if we have our main actor, we have our story and where we're going, what's a title here, guys? I think if we're doing it, unfortunately, a lot of sailing puns have been taken, like sail away, cast away, shipwrecked, all that stuff. What if it was something about like,
down under the sea,
wave goodbye. Down under the sea.
Wave goodbye is good.
Thank you.
I was trying to think of an Australian phrase pun. But we're talking about the ocean, I guess, not the sea.
I think we're just waving goodbye.
I think wave goodbye.
Wave goodbye. Wave goodbye.
Okay, I like it. It's growing on me.
So, yes. So that would be our thing. There we go. Delightful. Thank you, David. All right. Our last one I bring to you too. Guys, coming to you straight out of Minneapolis. Federal customs agents poo-pooed the plans of an Iowa woman who wanted to make jewelry from giraffe feces she picked up on a trip to Kenya and brought back to the U.S. in her luggage.
I saw the story.
Yes, the woman declared the small box of feces when she was selected to have her belongings inspected. The woman, who was not identified, I wonder why, told the officials she planned to use the waste to make a necklace, as she had done in the past with moose poop. Giraffe poop can be brought back to the U.S. with the proper permits and inspections, according to Minnesota Public Radio. The station reported that the woman won't face sanctions because she declared the feces and gave it to customs. Quote, "There is a real danger with bringing fecal matter into the U.S., Customs and Border Protection Chicago Field Director LaFonda D. Sutton-Burke said in a statement. If this person had entered the U.S. and had not declared these items, there is high possibility a person could have contracted a disease from this jewelry and developed serious health issues," end quote.
Wow. The
agency's agriculture specialists destroyed the giraffe poop, and dare I say, bravo. Bravo to all. Disgusting on so many levels. Disgusting that this is not the first. And disgusting that she went about it.
The U.S. is very stringent about what they allow inside, like, bringing oranges into Florida. But so all this is written in law, right? So at some point they sat down and they said, okay, well, no, we don't want any apples from outside of the U.S. because it could contaminate. No, okay, apples, no, okay. I think we're okay if we let corn come into the U.S. Yeah, okay, corn is good. All right, next on the list is giraffe poop. We good with giraffe poop?
No.
And someone said, yes, giraffe poop is okay, but we need a permit.
Someone actually said that.
These 4 forms, please.
Sign here, and make sure that you definitely sign here after using some Germex. Disgusting as it is. Any thoughts on where to go with this? I mean, is it just as straight up as it could possibly be? My lone thought was, again, something of like, use this as a basis and possibly go forward with an American-made type of movie where, like Tom Cruise, where an illegal feces ring exists, maybe Blow a la Johnny Depp, and then you go into the deep, dark, seedy underground of fertilizing the black market with illegal beads and jewelry. I thought that might be a fun way to go.
Well, I could see this being like a stay-at-home mom who has found her life to be boring in whatever current state it's in, and she's looking for something exciting, and then randomly the doorbell rings and her friend shows up one day and she's like, do you want to go find moose poop with me? And that's like the gateway into making this jewelry and selling it online to whatever black market. And then she gets a little too big for her britches and tries to go to Africa to get the giraffe poop. And then
I think you're onto something, Jenny. What if the movie starts out with this woman thinking she's reached the peak with moose poop, and she's the queen of the market of poop jewelry, and then she hears a tale of those in the southeast, in the deserts and plains of Africa, making poop. The legend says they make jewelry from the poop of a giraffe, and she thinks she's had like reached the pinnacle, and she's like, wait, I've barely scratched the surface. She's got to go on this quest to get this unattainable golden poop from the high anus of a giraffe.
Not the high anus.
And in the end, she finds out that the real item she was searching for all along was herself. But as everybody knows, moose poop is the gateway drug of all poops.
It's the gateway poop.
Oh God. Okay. Any actors or actresses that, for whatever reason, you just closely associate with giraffe feces? I mean, the one that probably sticks out to my mind, especially if we're going like woman on here, is probably, who can go both ways, would probably be Melissa McCarthy. As much as I hate to put, again, feces on anybody, I was like, you know what, who can handle this with taste, with class, with the right aroma?
Oh yeah, the physical comedy opportunities in a movie about poop. Yes.
Kristen Wiig, yes.
Kristen Wiig might be the poopiest female comic. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying that.
Sorry, Kristen
Wiig.
And just thinking about,
okay, so Kristen Wiig, I think we're in agreement.
The scene in Bridesmaids.
Oh God, yes, she can. Again, both Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, both in there tastefully. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's move to a title. The longest poop, imported from Africa. Like what are we going to go with here? Could be something seductive, like Forbidden Desire. Nobody got to see it, but David's.
I'm sorry. This is an audio medium. My facial expression, I think, told the big story there. That one didn't make any sense.
Let's keep this simple, guys. Let's keep it simple. I got one word for you: nuggets.
You know what?
It's a powerful word.
I don't hate it.
Work in
nuggets. Progress. Yes.
Nuggets of the hyenas.
Yes. Yeah, nuggets of the hyenas. Yes. Okay, there we go. We've got a working title now, guys.
There we go.
Holy macaroni.
Let's brainstorm it and shop. Let's go.
Oh, Bite Me.
Always nips you right where you need it.
Yeah. Bite Me is our mini segment this week. And I have one for you guys. Hold on, let me find it. All right, guys. I think, Phil, at least you'll be with me on this one. Stop squirting ketchup or whatever other sauce over the top of my fries. All you're doing is making my fries soggy. It's meant for dipping. Don't squirt it all over the top. Have you guys ever had that?
So you're saying that somebody, when you order fries, they are giving to you pre-squirted fries?
Yeah, so that they'll give you fries, and they'll just like over the top, all over the top, they'll pour the ketchup.
I've never gotten pre-squirted fries. I'm going to be honest with you, but I would
never have your fries been pre-squirted.
No, mine are freshly squirted. Usually, whenever I get them,
you squirt them yourself.
I squirt them myself. I have a mechanism of making sure that it's the proper squirtage.
But do you squirt it over the top, or do you in the corner?
No, well,
then you have somewhere to dip.
Exactly. I have a squirting area.
So that's what I'm saying.
A pre-designated squirting area that
if you're
I like
gonna
to
pre-squirt,
have.
if you're gonna pre-squirt my fries, at least squirt it in the corner. Don't squirt it all over.
Jenny's gone. Jenny has left this. No,
you can't squirt it all over. That's just messy.
Jenny hasn't lost connection, but she's
create
out of
a little
body.
nook in the corner and squirt it right in there.
For me, it's the designated squirting area for me.
Exactly.
No. The only thing that should be added to fries prior to you enjoying them is like cheese. Cheese is like the one thing that you can add to it.
But then you're talking about loaded fries, and that's its own thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But to have pre-condimented fries is just an abomination. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
If anybody were to disagree and wants their squirted fries,
they can bite me.
Oh, there we go. Jenny, I'll go so that way we give you a buffer here. So I give you.
Thank you. That was a lot for me to handle. My apologies.
Yes, that's all right. Long have I been notorious for enjoying a nice iced tea and lemonade, also known as an Arnold Palmer. But for the past month, I've been on a delightful dalliance with hot tea and honey, and let me tell y'all. I don't care if it makes me the unofficial 14th main cast member of Downton Abbey, or a 5th Golden Girl, or any other little old lady jokes you want to get in there. It is a boost to the energy battery. It feels classy and warms up my perpetually freezing ass. So I tell you, hot tea and honey is a must-have, especially as we progress to colder climates. And if you disagree with me, you can just bite me.
What milk? No milk?
You know what? I have some oat milk in the fridge that I've been adding. I just added last night, as a matter of fact, that you mentioned it, and I quite enjoyed it. It was nice. It was a nice, and it gave a little sustenance to that tea.
It gives it more body.
Yes, I quite enjoyed it. So I would agree. Yes, milk. Yes, Jenny, what's nibbling at your heels?
Nothing, to be honest. My submission for this round of Bite Me has nothing to do with food or beverages. I am here to talk about how carnivals need to establish where line cues begin and end. And it is a miserable time if you don't. I went to a carnival this last weekend, and they charge an additional fee at this place to go. It's not a carnival. It's not the main attraction. So you have to pay an additional fee to go ride these rides, right? And
Sure.
They're understaffed. So there's only like 1 or 2 people watching these rides, and it's a free-for-all trying to figure out where the lines begin and end in this close space of around these 4 rides. You're waiting like 20 minutes, and you spend 5 of that 20 minutes trying to figure out where the hell your line begins. And why can't we put up a sash, or put up a pillar or something, or a sign that says this is where line begins, line ends? Like, it's that simple. It would make life so much easier for everyone. Like, it's so frustrating. People climb over you too, trying to leave. People keep cutting through the lines. It's just, where's the line monitors, guys? Come on. If you don't charge me, charge me extra money for this shit. Bite me. With the howl of the wolf in the north, that draws a close to this week's episode. But before we end, there is some people we need to thank.
Thank you to Cass and Crossland. And Jake Corling, for the music that you hear on the show.
Thanks to Ronald O'Gell and Jizons. No, sorry. Thanks to Ryan Ardell and Josh Ons for a lot of the audio bits you guys hear throughout the show. Thank you, guys.
And thank you to Rudy Chalk, or Rudy Chalk, for your wonderful graphic work that you get to see in all of our social media. And thank you to you, the listener, for always tuning in and supporting us. It means the world to us that you tune in every week and you get to join this wonderful ride with us. Now, if you want to find us, please find us on all of our social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you can find us, including TikTok, the good old TikTok. For all listening platforms, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, but Pandora? You mean Pandora? No, screw you, Pandora.
So, do you have any of that good stuff? Oh, do you mean the moose feces? No. Giraffe feces? No. I'm talking that bear feces.